welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience going to see GOT7 for their Keep Spinning World Tour in LA. So this was my first time going to a GOT7 concert. I had seen them before at KCON, but that doesn't really count because I only saw them for like, what, 3 songs? So I was pretty excited. How I ended up going to this concert was because I impulse bought floor tickets. It was the time of finals and I was super stressed out, and so I literally just impulse bought floor tickets. It was like way in the back corner of the floor, but it was second from the aisle. It was the very last row in the corner. Like, I was kind of as far as you can get, like just second to the aisle, so closer to the extended stage. I had a good experience being closer to the aisle at the BTS concert, and so I guess that was kind of just what went through my head, and I was like, it's a good seat. I was kind of just excited to go to a concert where they weren't like my favorite group, so I wouldn't have like PCD afterwards, and so I can just have a good time and not like be disappointed at anything or be sad about anything, but just like have fun. Me and my friend went with her cousins and we were there basically the whole day. We hung out around Koreatown and then we went to the BT21 store and then we went to the venue. We actually cut it really close in how we were timing things because we spent a lot more time in places that I didn't think we were going to take as much time. We got to the venue at like 6:45ish, I want to say, and the concert started at 7:30. We're here! Let me complain about some things. First of all, the Forum, like, kudos to the Forum. Like, this was probably one of the most organized parking situations that I've ever been in for a concert. Like, they were so good about it, and getting out was really fast too. So the Forum, kudos to you guys. And then now I'm gonna start hating on JYP. Not because I don't like their company at all. I love JYP and I love their artists. But I really disliked the fact that there were no decorations whatsoever. There was nothing that showed you that this was a GOT7 concert. Like, there were no posters, there were no signs, there was nothing for you to take a picture with to say you were there. There was just the merch booth trucks things, and even that didn't even have like the logo on it very much. It was just not ideal, I feel like. There were no signs anywhere of this concert, and I was also really bummed by the fact that this was a GOT7 concert, but the music that they were playing at the venue was not GOT7 at all. They didn't play a single GOT7 song. I heard Twice, Stray Kids, and then I was like, oh, okay, so it's like JYP. So I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But then they started playing like Chungha and BTS. Like, they were playing BTS's Spring Day, and I was like, what are you guys doing? I felt bad for GOT7 because I was like, this is not how you do it. JYP, you're super messed up for playing BTS at your own concert. So me and my friend and her cousins, we literally just took a picture around the Forum, like the Forum's red wall, like that's all you could take pictures with. I was just really bummed about that. But one thing that's really interesting, every other venue, they check your tickets and bags like over and over and over and over again. But then at this venue, they checked it once for you to get in to like the venue area, and then they never checked it again. They just made sure to check that you're entering in the right section to just help you be where you need to be, but they weren't like so strict. So I had a floor ticket and my friend and her cousins had like lower bowl and upper bowl sections, so we were kind of like all over the place. So say I'm the stage and you guys are like the audience. The extended stage is here. I'm like over here in this section, the farthest one, and then they're like up here. It's a funny story. I went to my seat and I knew it was in the far back, and I was like, wow, it's literally in the last row, really far away. This girl was standing there and she was like, is this your seat? And I was like, yeah, it is. And then she goes, my friends are actually sitting next to you. Do you mind like switching? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But I didn't really want to because I was like, what if her seat's like no good? But she was like, my seat is in row 17, so that was 4 rows ahead of where I was, and it was the same like second to the aisle seat. And I was like, of course I'll switch with you, because like she had a better seat, like she was closer and everything, but she wanted to trade with me to sit with her friends. So I was like, I would love to trade with you, thank you. So I moved and I sat farther front. One con of sitting by myself, I had nobody to ask to take pictures of me, so I was like looking around kind of like, who can I ask? But then as I was kind of just waiting there, this girl sat next to me and she was like, is this section blah blah, like seat whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, and she was like, oh, I'm sitting right next to you. So then we just talked. She was really nice. I was super happy that I had someone really nice. She was like really talkative too, so I was like really happy about that. Like once she sat down, she was like, who's your bias? And I was like, Jinyoung. Thank you so much for being so sweet and taking my pictures for me. Yeah, so actually we had a really good seat. So overall, just some things from the concert before I go straight into sharing my fan cams with you guys. The Forum is just way smaller than the Rose Bowl. And so after going to the Rose Bowl, like the Forum just seemed like everything was closer. And so even when GOT7 was at the main stage, which they were a lot, they weren't at the extended stage that much. When they were at the main stage, like they weren't so far away where I couldn't see them. I can literally like see their faces very clearly even from the main stage, and then when they're at the extended stage they were like super close. So that was kind of nice. Even though the venue is big, it was like I could still see like really clearly. Since it was closer to the aisle, you don't have that many people in your view as much, and so that was really nice. One thing that I was really kind of happy about was people in my section weren't waving their light sticks so much so that they weren't in my way, like, so I was super glad about that. My bias from GOT7 is Jinyoung, and he was really good looking. He was gorgeous. I knew before, but I didn't really know until this concert. Like, he's really good looking, and he's an amazing singer, and he's an amazing dancer. Like, he's perfect. His vocals are so strong and stable, and he's just always a good dancer. He's like a dancer that makes everything look easy. Like I was a Jungkook fan cam for BTS, I was a Jinyoung fan cam for this GOT7 concert. Like, I was following him everywhere, so most of the videos is probably just gonna be him. I had no intention of recording very much, but because my view was so good and Jinyoung was like right in front of me a lot, I was like, I must record. And so yeah, I had a really good time overall. I'm super glad that I made that impulse buy. It was a good one. I love VCRs, don't get me wrong, but I really like the fact that GOT7 just spoke in between sets rather than had the VCRs so that they were gone. They were pretty much on stage for most of the concert, just talking, and I really like when the talking isn't so scripted because it just seems more natural, and GOT7 was exactly that. Monsta X's concerts are usually like this, and they're really good about their talking in between. Like, it doesn't seem scripted at all, and GOT7's was pretty similar. Some parts you could tell was scripted and planned, but overall, like, some parts like you can tell it wasn't. Like one time they were just talking about what they did like the day before, and I thought that was just kind of cool because like they just talked about what they did. Like, it wasn't scripted at all, and they're just talking about what they did the day before. I don't know if you guys know, but Southern California was hit with an earthquake July 4th and July 5th, and so GOT7 was there for the earthquake, and they were just talking about like their experience with it and just things like that. Like, everything was just so chill, and I really liked that about them. Also, no translator. That was really cool, and if they needed something translated, they would just ask another member to do it because they had 3 who could. Overall, it was just a really fun experience. It was a very tiring day, but it was worth it. I'm glad everybody had fun. So yeah, without further ado, here are my fan cams. Enjoy Jinyoung oppa's visuals. Bye.
네가 그럴 때마다 미친 똑같아 우리를 보며 살짝 웃어주면 달려가지 말라 널 건물에 타 하지마 하지마 네 손길이 미친 똑같아 너를 때마다 내 말을 살짝 잡아 볼수 없을까 널 건물에 타 하지마
진영, 유경, 짱. 진영, so amazing.
So he's a mad dancer. Jinyoung,
Our hidden card.
hidden card.
Sometimes I forgot I'm the dance member. But I proved today. And so that's it. Let's play, please.
떨고 있어 감정 소리가 용하는 게 보이지만 이거 바쁜 전혀 아슬하게도 멈춰버려 그만 삼켜질까봐 Look at me more fake Look at me more fake 불안해 서서히 밟은 뒤 점점 위태롭게 흔들리고 있어 쓰러지고 있어 Yeah, yeah, yeah 서서히 밟은 뒤 Everybody sing it together. Just give me a sign. Just give me a sign. 지금 사랑에 빠졌어 네가 아니면 더 이상 있어주면 난난난난난 다른 게 없으니 넌 아무도 바꾸지 만만만만만 아무것도 만만만만만만 너의 모든 게 다다다다 다 좋으니까 너는 아무것도 바꾸지 만만만만만 느껴지는 내 모습 그대로 날 믿어줄래 두려움이 없으니 그런 속에서 나를 찾고 싶어 와서 Give me now 세상을 마치고 익숙해질 때까지 너무 보일 때까지 하지마 이대로는 멈춰줘 너가 돌아왔대도 우릴 때는 쓸모없어 이제는 손은 너도 이 나의 mind So you 머릿속에 비워졌어 for me Don't 어차피 나도 너를 입에 Your eyes on me 내 시선에 only 내게만 그리지 않고 전에 날 거치만 같아도 떠보내 널 내가 부른 내 일은 오지마 거치면 안 나와 새로운 피어나 놀라워 널좀 알아 Cause you love the falling 두근거림은 멈추지 않아 매일 더해 Girl 세상이 내 머리만 하듯 감미롭게 내 파고들어 막을 수 없어 제적이라 품성에 어디 가는 분위기도 하여 행기 밝고 너무 시끄러워 과열 랩은 everybody knows it 하지만 아직 배불러 hungry 어떤 일을 do 기쁘지 않아 이거 하나 단어로 조용하기 원하는 게임을 정답해 원하는 그 정도를 간다해 다른 너무 나라는 할 일에 하는 baby way Let's fire again fire again fire again I got this vibes 오늘은 내가 오직 널 How to carry it How to carry it Let it go let it go now 들어 따라 들어 따라 How to carry it How to carry it Let it go let it go now 들어 따라 How to carry it How to carry it 원하는 너에게 차갑고 추운 겨울에 그런 나 또한 해가 날 이젠 듣지 않았던 그런 말 우연히 앞에서 있는 너 내게 갑자기 빛 같았어 누구도 찾아와 주지 않던 어쨌든 내 하늘에 작은 별이 되어 바닥에 비춰준 너 겨울의 끝에서 날 봄이 돼준 널 만난 건 Oh miracle 내게 너무도 기적 같은 일인걸 네가 오는 날 이제는 겨울이 춥지만은 않아 날 바라보는 네가 있기에
GOT7 Let's go!
무슨 말인지 알지? 아까운 척 노려왔지 정신없이 달려오니 다시 난널 부숴 알고 있어 알고 있어 넌날 믿어 나를 믿어 알고 싶어 Let me hear you say LA, thank you so much. We had the best show today. Thank you. GOT7, thank you.
Thank you.
LA, thank you so much. I love you guys. What's up? Everybody say hey,
Did you have fun tonight? Yeah, I had a good time too. I feel like we started our North American tour not long ago, but I can't believe we're already halfway through. We feel so sad because 2 weeks later, we'll be back. We'll go back to Korea. And we don't know when we will be back here. We realized again that concerts are not only made by the 7 of us, but so many other people are working to help us. We thank everyone for their help. Thank you very much. But most importantly, our shows will not be possible without our fans. Who love, support, and wait and trust us. Thank you very much. We will repay you with good music and great performances. Thank you very much. If we don't have our fans, we could not got this moment. Thank you very much. We love AHGASE. Thank you.